Juicy J has issued a call for a meeting. Have you seen that?
Word to Juicy J.
He's saying that rap sales are down 40%, and it's has reached urgency levels.
I agree.
He's calling all music heads to come together and have a meeting about the state of rap music sales being down. He said, "This is how we eat. So if we can't sell records, then we're in trouble."
Word to Juicy J.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think that the landscape has changed. I think we was talking about this with Slim Thug. Afro beats has taken over the world. You got reggaeton taking over the world. So I just feel like there's more to choose from, right? As opposed to the days when everything was just rap or R&B, but mainly just rap hip hop. So there's still people that selling records, obviously, like Drake and those type of people, 21 Savage and stuff like that. But it's difficult from a business standpoint. I think the business model has to change. I think more creativity has to be displayed. And
diversity in sound is needed.
I think there's cycles to it. I mean, I remember when hip hop wasn't the number one genre when it came to consumption of music, and it was country music, and then finally, or it was rock music, and then that got phased out, and then hip hop became the dominant consumption of music, but in culture, and it's been that way for the past 15 to 20 years. But even when we talk about Afro beats and different forms of music, the sales don't match the way that they used to, right? People are not consuming the music at the same level. So yeah, you do have a Bad Bunny, and of course you have a Beyonce, or you have a Taylor Swift, and you have a Drake. But when he used to do, 1 million albums sold in a week, he's now doing 400,000 in a week. And Travis Scott is doing less. And we won't even talk about some of the other artists who have put out music that have, so far less than that. But even how they calculate it, I mean, I feel like it's a skewed number, right? Because with the eye test, when we look at some of these people and they perform in stadiums and they perform in arenas, and there's 20,000 people there every night in every city, I mean, you would assume that a fraction of that population is going to consume the music. So, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know where he got the statistics from, but I like the call. I like the call out.
I think that people actually are just not, the attention plan is different too. Like now it's so much with streaming and everything. Like even I talk to my son, I'm like, "What's your favorite rapper?" He's like, "I don't have one." So it's like he listens to rap music, but he's not like, hardcore, like, fanatic on any one artist. And I think that, there's so much stuff with video games, with streaming, with Instagram, with podcasting. Like the fight for attention has never been higher than it is now, which obviously, it affects other genres, traditional genres of attention, like music. So I think that might have something to do with it as well, where so much kids is watching video games. They watching people
play video games
for hours. Like that's what they're doing for hours.
So here's the other piece though. Is the music good? I think, I mean, let's just talk about that. Like, is the music good? Right. So like I would use like SZA's album, for example. We put this album out in December. It's been a top 10 album since its release. There's been 5 number 1 singles. There's been hit after hit. The music was good, and so sustainable, right? We're listening to projects that they come out one week and then somebody's next week, but we never revisit it because the substance of the music wasn't good, the relatability, the topic of the music wasn't good, and so that I think when he calls out that part of it, there's a call to action that needs to be had. We got to get back to actually making music that's good. And that's why, I mean, even shout out to Puff. Like when I heard the music from the Love album, like, oh, this reminded me of R&B. But there's a generation that never heard that sound.
Yeah.
Something that might be good to us is like, well, what is this?
But can the music be good if the industry isn't paying well? Like I remember last week I was having the same conversation online and people was like, well, yeah, people aren't relying on record sales. And I'm like, if they convince an entire generation to tour for money and your record sales don't count, if any other business did that, that would be a Ponzi scheme. Also, the music industry got in bed with Spotify because they let Steve Jobs ruin the music single format and sell them for 99 cents. So they didn't want that to happen again. I think 3 labels own 70% of Spotify. Okay, great. for them. But if you put in streaming and people don't care about artists' longevity, are you then cannibalizing the same thing that you're selling? Like, I think musicians at some point are going to have to strike. Like, imagine if YouTube said to us, hey, just put out the show for free. I know we used to pay, but that's ours now.
Different
And
business
artists
model.
are going for it, different business model. You got to adjust. And if you keep letting people rob you, why would they do anything differently?
Hip Hop Summit.
It's needed.
Hip Hop Union. Benny Siegel told us that 20 years ago. There's no union, no dental plan. I can't eat off 100 grand. I got cavities that need filling. We still haven't seen it happen.
Yeah. Will not happen, probably. Sad.
All right. Well, it's been real, ladies and gentlemen.
I love your abruptness, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, all right, let y'all figure it out. Album ain't doing well. Podcast ain't doing well.
Good luck, rappers.
Good luck.
So,
Good luck.
Good luck, so-called rapper.
When this flip, I'm gonna get on some other.
Yeah.
Jay told y'all that, man. 96, man. Like,
Told y'all long ago.
Here's what it is.